Hello everybody and welcome back to another screencast of Total OS Today. Well, I had planned on doing a full review of a lightweight distribution, an offshoot of Ubuntu called Lubuntu or Lubuntu. This is version 10.10, which was released, I believe, right before Christmas, and I'm just now getting around to doing a review. I wanted to do a full review, but it was impossible. I was unable to install and run. Actually, I was able to install a few of the screencasting pieces of software that I would normally use, such as Record My Desktop and or Kazam Screencaster. They were able to install rather quickly, but unable to use, unable for whatever reason, I don't know, obviously some kind of flaw or bug in using those two pieces of software in this version of Lubuntu. But that being said, let me do a review as best I can and let me point out some of the highlights and I guess some of the lowlights. Okay, as I said, this is version 10.10. If you need to find out more about Lubuntu, you can go to the website lubuntu.net, and I'll just read here quickly what it is. Welcome to the Lubuntu project. The objective of the Lubuntu project is to create a faster, more lightweight, and energy-saving variant of Ubuntu by using LXDE, which stands for the Lightweight X11 Desktop Environment, as its default GUI. And it says here, the ultimate goal of the Lubuntu project is to earn official endorsement from Canonical. Now, that being said, I installed it on this machine and laptop, which is, I believe, a 1400 megahertz processor, less than 1 gig of RAM. Let me just say that I installed it easily. This thing is fast, extremely fast, probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest OSs, modern OSs I have ever tried and used, really since the last... Well, it's only been 24 hours, but it is extremely fast. But I did run into some issues with, really because of those issues, I would probably wind up uninstalling this. Okay, let me get straight to the issues that I had. I couldn't find any kind of sound mixer or sound preferences software anywhere in this operating system. So I had to download and install the ALSA mixer from the Synaptic Package Manager. Now, this works pretty well. I was able to get my volume up and up so I could hear my computer. But again, for whatever reason, at least none that I saw, there was nothing installed by default, which I believe is a very big omission. Another thing is the battery preferences. I like to have somewhat full control over my battery preferences on a laptop, and I saw nothing here. Under the default battery settings, you have a choice of, for example, when the battery becomes critical, to suspend, shut down, or hibernate. I prefer that it does nothing, to have control of when I want to shut it down. There was no option for that, so I had to search the Synaptic Package Manager and download the G-configuration editor so I could have this do what I wanted to do. Another issue would be the clock. I like to have a clock in the 12-hour format versus the 24-hour format. But when I click digital clock settings, as you see here, I need to use a format code. Now, I normally would know this, but quite honestly, I forget, so I can't show you. But again, something simple like this, you would think it would be installed by default, but it's simply not there, at least none that I saw. Now, I realize that this is a light distribution, and I suppose it's meant to be light. That's why it runs extremely fast. But maybe it's just a little bit too light to be used as an everyday operating system. Certainly, if I had to recommend this to a Windows user to try something new regarding Linux, this is probably not going to be the one to use because, again, it is a little bit too light. Now, that being said, it is fast, extremely fast, and I love it. Setting up wireless connections was a breeze. It runs fine. It starts up quickly. It shuts down quickly. But in terms of the software, Really, I was unable to really get the software to work in terms as much as having a fully functioning computer. But again, it is meant to be light. If you are a seasoned Linux user and like to download this to try it and customize it to your heart's content, I suppose this is the one to go if you want to do that and still have a fast operating system. For myself, really after 24 hours, I'm going to have to uninstall it because it is simply not for me. So all I can say for Lubuntu 10.10, very fast, but somewhat disappointing. And there's one thing I wanted to point out, a very catchy name, a piece of software. I go to the, see if I can find it, accessories, and they call the calculator the Galculator. Now, what can I say? Apparently, this is the first Linux operating system with a piece of software that can calculate females' emotions. And do you want to know how I can tell that? Here we go. Because right down here, you have the SQRT button, the squirt button. Okay, it's a joke. I know it's square root, but I couldn't resist. Thank you for watching this edition of Total OS today. And as always, I'll catch you sometime in the future. Bye.